Brilliance Audio presents Lessons Learned by Nora Roberts, performed by Nellie Chalfant.
The fact was, Carlo Franconi's looks, charm, reputation, and skill were going to make her job a pleasure, so she was told. Still, with her office door closed, Juliet scowled down at the 8x10 glossy black and white publicity photo. It looked to her as though he'd be more trouble than pleasure. Carlo grinned cockily up at her, dark, almond-shaped eyes, amused and appreciative. She wondered if the photographer had been a woman. His full, thick hair was appealingly disheveled, with a bit of curl along the nape of his neck and over his ears. Not too much, just enough to disarm. The strong facial bones, jauntily curved mouth, straight nose, and expressive brows combined to create a face destined to sabotage any woman's common sense. Gift or cultivated talent, Juliet wasn't certain, but she'd have to use it to her advantage. Author tours could be murder. A cookbook. Juliet tried and failed not to sigh. Carlo Franconi's The Italian Way was, whether she liked it or not, her biggest assignment to date. Business was business. She loved her job as publicist and was content for the moment with Trinity Press, the publisher she currently worked for, after a half-dozen job changes and upward jumps since the start of her career. At 28, the ambition she'd started with as a receptionist nearly 10 years before had eased very little. She'd worked, studied, hustled, and sweated for her own office and position. She had them, but she wasn't ready to relax. In 2 years, by her calculations, she'd be ready to make the next jump, her own public relations firm. Naturally, she'd have to start out small, but it was building the business that was exciting. The contacts and experience she gained in her 20s would help her solidify her ambitions in her 30s. Juliet was content with that. One of the first things she'd learned in public relations was that an account was an account, whether it was a big blockbuster bestseller already slated to be a big blockbuster film, or a slim volume of poetry that would barely earn out its advance. Part of the challenge, and the fun, was finding the right promotional hook. Now she had a cookbook and a slick Italian chef. Franconi, she thought wryly, had a track record, with women and in publishing. The first was a matter of hot interest to the society and gossip sections of the international press. It wasn't necessary to cook to be aware of Franconi's name. The second was the reason he was being pampered on the road with a publicist. His first 2 cookbooks had been solid bestsellers. For good reason, Juliet admitted. It was true she couldn't fry an egg without creating a gooey, inedible glob, but she recognized quality and style. Franconi could make linguine sound like a dish to be prepared while wearing black lace. He turned a simple spaghetti dish into an erotic event. Sex. Juliet tipped back in her chair and wiggled her stockinged toes. That's what he had. That's just what they'd use. Before the 21-day author tour was finished, she'll have made Carlo Franconi the world's sexiest cook. Any red-blooded American woman would fantasize about him preparing an intimate dinner for 2. Candlelight, pasta, and romance. One last study of his publicity shot and the charmingly crooked grin assured her he could handle it. In the meantime, there was a bit more groundwork to cover. Creating a schedule was a pleasure, adhering to one a challenge. She thrived on both.